Yo, what up, everybody? I just had to fix some stuff with the audio, but it sounds good to me now. So, we are good to go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SpeedGaming. Hope everything sounds good and looks good from your end. We got a really good race right here. Ppotdot1, my hero, my personal speed hero, versus SpeedE. This is a really good match. Let me just make sure before I say anything. I'm gonna check their seed really quick. Yeah, so Papat got a PB recently, and he has a 35-minute flat now. That is insane. So he just broke top 20 with that, and SpeedE has the 3609. I know they both recently got these PBs, so they are very, very warmed up, I think, and it should be a hot match. Okay, just had some technical difficulties, but everything looks good on our end. So let me just check back with the runners before we start. And what's up to the chat too? What's up, everybody? We are just getting started with this Mega Man 3 race between Ppotdot and SpeedE. Okay, I got our runners readied up and the countdown has begun, so in about 15 seconds, but given stream delay that might not be too accurate, but regardless, good luck to both Ppotdot and SpeedE. And just quickly, I would like to inform you that this is the losers round 4 match, so this is the final race for one of these two competitors. And the winner of this is going to be seeing Prizzy in the next match, so they have a very hard uphill battle starting here. This is really closely matched between these two. Okay, and we're off. So, Ppotdot and SpeedE. There is a route difference between these two runners. Ppot goes magnet first, while SpeedE does top man first. They're both very competitive routes. You could get a 33 with either route. Most people say that the top first route is a little bit more mash heavy, but personally, I think it's all mash heavy no matter what you do in this game. It's Mega Man 3. There's no charge shot, so mashing is very helpful. And as you saw there with Ppot fighting Proto Man, Breakman, that was a really good, really fast fight. Got him right at the right wall. SpeedE also having to mash in the top man stage. It's a little bit less preferable for some people because it requires jump mashing. I mean, the Proto fight does too, but I don't know. It's really preference. Like I said, it's mashing everywhere. So SpeedE has two of those big cats he has to jump mash down, while Ppot has to deal with these Yoku blocks. That's another turnoff with that stage. You have to deal with the Yoku blocks, so you know, just pick your poison. You can have a good time with either route. Ppotdot coming up to the boss gate for Magnet Man. The boss fight is another reason why some people stray away from this route, because there is RNG involved. Ooh, and SpeedE goes for that top skip at the end there, and unfortunately jumps slightly too soon, so he didn't make that jump. You can, that jump is pretty scary, but the top, it actually pushes you forward to the right if you overlap it. But yeah, that is a very dangerous jump to go for. Ppotdot now taking out Magnet Man. The RNG involved in that fight involves Magnet Man staying on the ground and using his magnetism attraction, and when he does that pattern, he's invulnerable to damage. So the only thing you can do to stop that is by taking some body contact damage. So you have to have the HP to do that. You can't do it all the time once you get down there less than 6 health. So I didn't actually see all the patterns that Ppotdot got, but it didn't seem too bad. SpeedE now done with the Top Man fight. He had the normal fight there by killing Top Man in three cycles. And Ppotdot now coming into Hard Man stage. We're gonna have these very laggy monkeys here, and SpeedE going to Shadow Man stage, a very dangerous stage. Okay, Ppotdot with this last monkey. That's a very tricky room. You want to try to get 2 slides, take a D-boost, and call Rush Coil to your left. Ppotdot did everything except taking the reverse D-boost, so he got knocked backwards, but very hard room. SpeedE having a very good Proto Man fight himself, another right wall fight. Oh yeah, Ppotdot also handling all the Bs in that stage perfectly. With the magnet first route, you have to. It's kind of awkward those B fights, those B kills with Rush Coil in that first room, but he did it perfectly. All right, so he's coming into the Hard Man fight, while SpeedE is coming into the very long last room of Shadow Man stage. Ppotdot has enough health to do the quick kill. He's going to keep Magnet Man in iframes by timing his shots well, and then takes two hits from Hard Man, which prevents him from freezing the screen. Normally Hard Man hits the ground and everything's frozen for a while. You could just avoid that by letting him land right on top of you, but you need at least half health to be able to do that, because you actually take 2 hits. You have to take that initial hit and then stay in his hitbox on the ground, where you'll take another hit, and then you are free to move again. So SpeedE did that last room a bit safe, and I don't blame him, because it's very easy to die there using Top Man's weapon, using top spin on those jumps, because anytime you kill something with top spin, you get pushed backwards. And of course, you have to jump to use top spin, so that strat that he was going for at the end of Shadow Man stage involves jumping over a pit while using top spin to kill enemies. So you can get pushed backwards, and it's very easy to not make those jumps. Runners will try to turn around right when they make contact with top spin, so that they get pushed in the direction they like to go, but it's a very, very tough strat. Okay, so Ppotdot now in Top Man stage. He has magnet missile, so unlike SpeedE, who went to that stage first, he could take down these cats much quicker, and he's also going to enjoy that magnet missile in some other stage, some other stages. It's a very good weapon. Shadow Blade, magnet missile, very good weapons. Top spin, I mean, it's very weird to use, but it is a powerful weapon. Oh, and Ppotdot doing a very aggressive jump towards that top, and he pauses and switches to Hard Knuckle, which is the weakness for Top Man, and that pause actually lets him hover in the air for a little bit, so he didn't fall to his death. The top actually came down and caught up with him in midair. And Ppotdot using the Hard Knuckle to kill Top Man in 2 cycles, and he gets pretty close to the center of the room there too. In Mega Man 3, you lose complete control of Mega Man after the boss is dead, so you want to be in the middle of the room already. SpeedE making the call here using Rush Marine to go through the lag room here in Gemini Man stage. They call it the lag room. It's one of many lag rooms, if you ask me. This game is very laggy, and if you try to do the platforming on those blocks, that lag can kill you. If it's not the lag, it's the enemies. There's so many things happening in that room, in that water room. Alright, Ppotdot now in Shadow Man stage, while SpeedE taking down Gemini Man. It looked like he did a damageless approach to that fight. I didn't see the beginning of it, but I don't think he took damage in that fight. If you want to optimize that fight, it does require some damage boost. As far as I know, I think every fast fight I've seen has some kind of damage boost in it. Ppotdot now in the dark room of Shadow Man stage, a very fun room. I'm sure he's not happy with how that room went. He looks like he didn't get a lot of the slides. So after Mega Man 1 and Mega Man 2, which we all know are walking Mega Man games, this has the introduction of the slide, and it's a pretty good one. Across all the classic Mega Man games, all the sliding is slightly different. For Mega Man 3, it's pretty unique. If you slide, you cannot jump out of your slide until 8 frames has passed. So if you're sliding on one tiles like what SpeedE just did, you have to time your A press not too soon, and of course not too late where you just fall off. So it can be pretty tricky to get used to, especially if you're used to Mega Man 4 or 5 slides. But of course, since it is a sliding Mega, we want to be sliding as much as possible. SpeedE in Needleman stage, it's a bit of a breather coming out of Top and Shadow. Just want to make sure we have enough ammo and health, of course, coming into the boss fight with Needleman. Let me see what pattern he gets. Okay, pretty good pattern, a short jump. One small jump, and then he stayed on the ground. So there wasn't too much risk of missing with the Gemini laser. In this game, when you shoot with a weapon, you cannot pause to despawn it if you miss. You just have to wait for it to hit something or get off the screen. And that's true for every weapon except for Rush Coil and Rush Jet. For whatever reason, if you shoot with those, you can still pause and change your weapon. Ppotdot now in Gemini Man stage, he just did a trick where coming into the cutscene with Proto Man, as long as you don't stand in one spot in that room, you slide into that room, slide through the screen transition, and then jump right into the hole there. And you could skip Proto Man's cutscene entirely, and what that does, it despawns the music. I'm sure you've noticed by now that there's no music on Ppotdot's side. And that actually reduces the lag, so not only is it faster, of course, to skip the cutscene, but now we have less lag for the lag room, which I was talking about earlier. SpeedE went the bottom route with Rush Marine, but Ppotdot is here doing these crazy one-tile slides. I was just mentioning how dangerous those can be because you are committed to the slide for 8 frames before you can jump. But he did that perfectly, almost perfectly. One of those dragonflies didn't get despawned, so he had to slow down to let it pass overhead. But other than that, that was very good. So now that we're in the boss room, the music will start. There's a new trigger for different music. Ppotdot doing that. This is not his normal fight, but it's a safe fight. A very good backup. He reacted well. So it's very easy to mess up the Gemini fight and then just lose control of the fight, not get into a new rhythm. So Ppotdot handling that well. SpeedE just went through Snake Man stage so fast I wasn't even able to talk about it much, but he's already here in the last room, jumping on Rush Jet all the way to the end. When you jump on Rush Jet, it consumes less of the Rush Jet ammo because it only gets consumed while you stand on them. So if you keep jumping, you could effectively make it last almost forever. And also, jumping off of the top of the screen takes off Mega Man Sprite, and that reduces lag as well. Okay, so Ppotdot here, he has the luxury of sliding so much with the use of that Magnet Missile. I like the strats here with Magnet in Needleman stage, very cool. Also in Top Man, of course. SpeedE now coming into Magnet Man stage. So with the route divergence, they'll only have a common last boss. They should be going to Spark at the end for their 8th robot. But apart from that, you know, all of these stages vary in length and time, so it's hard to say who's ahead. SpeedE had the one death, unfortunately, at the last room up top, so that was pretty costly. Ppotdot now coming into the Needleman fight, so... Oh, that kind of looked like it was going to be Nudua. That was actually a scary fight. Okay, but no Nudua laser, and a Nudua laser is what we call when you miss with the Gemini laser, and it just bounces around the room, and you can't do anything but hope it hits Needleman or whatever you were shooting at. Because like I said before, you can't despawn it by pausing, you have to just wait it out. You could only menu with shots on the screen with Rush Jet and Rush Coil, which we'll talk about more later. Okay, yeah, so Ppotdot coming now into Sparkman, so yeah, Ppotdot's on really good pace. Wait, no, he doesn't. I didn't even see his state select. But you can switch around some of the robos because you already have the weakness that you use in the boss fight. So it really only makes a difference on your menus. So a lot of runners have very slight differences in their routing. I didn't get to see the fight with SpeedE and Magnet Man, but it looked like he got the kill on the left side, so he must have gotten the bad pattern. When you have Shadow Blade, you can kill Magnet Man with 4 shots. So you want to kill the boss in the center of the room because all of the explosion particles of the boss needs to leave the screen before the fanfare begins. So and they actually leave the screen the quickest if they blow up in the center. Okay, SpeedE messing up one of the bees, so he just decides to despawn it. That's a nice backup strat. Because if those bees drop the little bees, that's a ton of lag. Okay, so Ppotdot now in the Sparkman fight. That's not the fastest pattern, but that's my favorite pattern because it's the easiest to deal with. And Ppotdot getting as close as he can to the center on that mound there at the end of the fight. So, very good Spark fight. SpeedE dealing with the monkeys over here. See, again, with this room, it's very hard to do that room the most optimal way with the 2 slides, reverse T-boost, and calling Coil to the left. Oh, okay, so Ppotdot ends it here with Snake. Oops. Why do I not know Ppotdot's route? Alright, so bangers all over. Okay, SpeedE in good shape. He has a very strong mash, so he should handle Proto Man just fine, and he should have enough health for the hard fight. Okay, he has a really good mash, but he's not getting the rhythm of the jumps right, so that was a rough fight, but he still has enough health for the hard man fight. Ppotdot using the Rush Jet strats for the majority of Snake Man. That's the most popular routing of this stage is with Rush Jet, and opting not to go for the Snake Zip. So in two of these rooms, you fight these giant snake heads, and you can actually zip right underneath his head. So we're gonna see the last snake head right here. So he's calling Jet so you can fly above, and just get to the screen transition. But you can just slide under their heads and go through their neck. but it's a pretty difficult strat. I think it's a 33 strat. You don't really need to go for that unless you're pushing for 33s. So both of them in their final robot stages, SpeedE now in Sparkman, and Ppot doing the rush jet on this last room of Snake Man. So like I said before, rush jet is only consumed while you're standing on it, so if you keep jumping, you could make it last, I don't know, like 4 times as long. And also jumping off screen reduces lag because Mega Man's not on it. Okay, so this Snake Man has, well, Prizzy just told me today, what, 1, 2, 3 different patterns, I think? One in the middle, one on the left, and or just keep walking. Yeah, 3 patterns. So Ppot got the jumping in the center. Personally, I don't even know what my favorite pattern is. I know what the best pattern is. It wasn't that, but for me dealing with that middle one, like I think that one's my favorite one in the stage. And then in the refights, I like the walking pattern. The fights in this speedrun are so fun because in the refights it's not the same. It's slightly different. And then of course there's the other fights, in the Wily stages. SpeedE having a little bit of trouble in Spark. I don't like that pattern either because that's where I want to stand. But there's a way to deal with that. So yeah, Ppotdot out of his 8 robos. SpeedE is teleporting out. It's still sub 18, so like I think it's a fine run. Ppotdot in Dock Needle, a very long stage. I never understood why Ppotdot does this route. He just like has to be different or something. But he goes to Dock Needle first. Yeah, SpeedE going to Dock Gemini. Once you're out of the 8 robots, there's no more weapons to get, so it really doesn't matter what order you do these 4 in. But you do have the freedom to choose, so hey, it's all up to you. Most people do what SpeedE's doing, going to Dock Gemini, simply because most people struggle with that stage, so we just want to get it out of the way, or just reset if it goes terrible. Ppot doing Dock Needle. Personally, it's the worst dock stage in my opinion. Like with this jet part here. So Ppot, of course, saving the rush jet by jumping off, reducing lag by removing Mega Man's sprite from the screen, and also baiting these dragonflies, because when you're off screen at the top, your hitbox is actually at the bottom of the screen. It wraps around, which is why Ppotdot was able to get one of those weapon refills by jumping off at the top, even though the weapon refill was at the bottom. So the dragonflies go all the way to the bottom of the screen thinking that's where you are, and you have a good chance of despawning them too, so that's even less lag. I didn't even get to talk about the airman fight in Dock Needle, but SpeedE now in the flash fight. So if you didn't know, in Mega Man 3 we get revisits of these Mega Man 2 Robot Masters. They're just, I don't know, like whatever that is, a copy of them is going into this robot here, and now that's Crashman. So you fight 2 bosses in both of these stages, in the dock stages I mean, from the Mega Man 2 Robot Masters. I think that's an awesome concept. SpeedE getting through one of the trickiest rooms in Dock Gemini, which was that water room. All of the water rooms are very deathly now that I think about it. And Ppot going to Dock Spark now. This is all wrong. I'm just kidding. SpeedE now in the Dock Bubble. So Bubble can do 1, 2, or 3 bubbles, and the more you see, the more lag you get. So that's the 3 bubbles, and that's the laggy pattern. Mega Man 3, a very laggy game. He needs to be kind of careful here. Oh, okay. Oh, he was able to take another hit. Okay. He couldn't take any body contact damage, but he was able to afford another hit from the bullet, which is what happened there, and he survived. So we're fine. Ppot now in Metal Man, Dock Metal. So, pretty simple fight. You just want to avoid damage and not spam your magnet missile. It's very easy to just spam your magnet missiles, have them go into iframes and be low. Oh, it looked like Ppotdot actually went for a music despawn there. If you die on the same frame that the screen is transitioned, you won't actually die, but the death sound will play, and the music will then be despawned. So you'll play the rest of the stage without music, just like how Gemini Man was from that music despawn. So there's three music despawns, and Ppotdot just went for the one over there. SpeedE actually, dang, I missed it. Well, there's no way of telling now because he's in Woodman, but there's also a music despawn in the stage that SpeedE's in, and it is very reliable. Everyone goes for it to save some lag. I'm sure he got it, but the music then comes back on when you enter the boss fight. We'll have a chance to see that music despawn in action when Ppotdot gets to Dark Shadow. SpeedE having a little trouble with wood. He should have been dead in 2 cycles, but he actually turned around and started facing SpeedE on the right there. Of course, we want to be on the right at the end of those fights because that's where the exit is. A pretty tricky room here SpeedE's on. He doesn't have enough ammo for the remainder of it, so he has to deboost. He might have to E-tank in this fight, because you are going to take some body contact damage when using topspin. That's just the nature of the weapon. I didn't get to see Ppotdot's first room of Doc Gemini, but that is a very fun room. Okay, SpeedE trying to get these double hits. You could... Oh my gosh, that was so close. That was very close. Very ballsy, and it worked out. Good job, SpeedE. Ppotdot going the top route in that last egg room. Those eggs are fun. I'll talk about them next race. There's just so much going on right now. Ppotdot in the flash fight, and SpeedE now in Doc Needle. Ppotdot getting pretty close to the right side at the end there. That was a pretty good fight. We need either jet or coil to get out of that part down there, and we keep it through the remainder of this water room, and then switch, well, not the remainder, but for the start of it, and switch to, whatchamacallit, Shadow Blade. Oh man, he's doing the room so well, like, it's so hard to talk about it, and SpeedE coming into Doc Air. Okay, so I didn't get to talk about this when Ppotdot got here, but here goes Airman. You know and love him from Mega Man 2, or maybe you hate him. I hated him. Some of these, just like in Mega Man 2, you can't avoid, and if you deboost, if you slide into those tornadoes, you actually get zipped to the right. So we try to do that to get really close to Airman, so we could get some really close hits, close and quick hits. And Ppotdot just killed Bubble. Alright, so SpeedE doing the very long jet part of Doc Needle. Ppotdot is now in his 4th and final Doc Robo. It's Doc Shadow, and here in the second room is where we go for this music despawn. So he's gonna stand in a specific spot where if you slide off and hold left, you'll make contact with the spikes on the exact frame that the screen is transitioned. So instead of dying, you'll just hear the death sound, and you'll be able to continue playing with no music. So the music is despawned, there's less lag, and it makes a huge difference on this room that Ppotdot's in right now. There's these explosion sprites, these red platforms that open up. I feel like they cause lag just by interacting with them. But yeah, Mega Man 3, very laggy game, so we take every opportunity we can to reduce the lag. If we have to despawn the music or destroy enemies that aren't even necessarily in our way, we'll do it just to get them off screen. Okay, so Ppotdot in the Woodman fight, the music is back on. We're going to switch to Needleman's weapon, and it can go through the shield once he throws it, so we wait for that moment to fire. And that was a good fight. See, he took the D-boost to get through him to the right side, and then Woodman was dead on his second cycle. And even with your back turned around, the door will actually open for you and let you out as long as you're making contact with it. Okay, so SpeedE using the search snakes to go through the rest of Doc Needle. One of the worst, one of the worst weapons, if you ask me. But it's fine. Okay, so yeah, SpeedE going into Clash while Ppotdot is taking down Heat. So the time that he takes to attack again is RNG, just like in Mega Man 2, and you can do 2 hits on him per cycle if you manage to hit him as soon as he becomes vulnerable between cycles. Okay, so the 4 Doc Robos are done for Ppotdot, so now he's going to fight Breakman. Ppotdot, very, very strong mash. Wow, that was such a good fight. So Breakman was done before he even came off that top platform. It was insane to me. Alright, so SpeedE in his last Doc robot, which is Doc Spark. Oh no! Okay, yeah, so that was just... he just didn't jump out of it. I don't know, maybe he tried to jump either too soon or too late, you know? Because if it's too soon in Mega Man 3 will just tell you no, that's less than 8 frames, you can't jump out. Or he just slid off. Ppotdot now in Wily 1, another banger. Oh, okay. Wow, well, the trajectory of that Gemini laser, that was interesting. Okay, so like I said before, water room's tricky. Ppotdot had a little mishap at the beginning of it, so he decided not to slide on the spikes, not to make contact with them too long. He actually came out to play it safe. I don't blame him for that. SpeedE now in the Metal Man fight, so he's going to try to not take damage, hit him with Magnet to time these iframes, and hopefully get a little bit close to the room to the right. Yeah, there we go. And Ppotdot now in the Yoku block section. Such a simple room, but full of lag. SpeedE didn't go for that music despawn, falling in that spiky, narrow corridor in Doc Spark. It's a dangerous one to go for. Ppotdot now fighting Turtles, the Kamegoro maker. This is a very RNG heavy boss. Anytime you see the boss go left before releasing a turtle is bad. That means they're gonna hold on to that turtle for way too long. If the boss goes right, then they'll release a turtle earlier. Okay, SpeedE having a really good Doc Quick fight. More than enough health to... That could be a tricky fight as well. So he's done with his Doc Robos. He's going to take down Breakman. He also has very incredibly good mash. Oh, he actually gets that jump. It's a frame-perfect jump before the fight even starts to get on the top platform. Get the high ground before he's even there. Ppotdot now using Jet for this. He likes to slide and... okay. Oh, he actually used Jet for that. Okay, oh yeah, you need Jet for that part. Yeah, Ppotdot threw me off because he does these slide jumps over there. Most runners like just walk and then do the jump. I think I'm gonna start sliding there too, because when you slide off of a platform, you can jump off like way later than you might think. Mega Man's hand is the only thing that needs to be making contact with the ground, and you're not falling down until that hand lets go. Okay, so Ppotdot now taking down Yellow Devil, or as we can call him, Easy Devil, because he did it in the one... he did the quick kill. Oh my god, that looked like a short jump from SpeedE. Okay, he also jumps high to avoid the spikes there. Normally you want to deboost from one of those birds and then slide across, but the birds kind of got messed up. So yeah, more bangers. Ppotdot now this very short stage here in Wily. Okay, so let's see what RNG SpeedE gets with his turtles. Like I said, we want to see the Kamigoro Maker go left, like just like that. So that's a good pattern here. Or, oh, I'm sorry, I'm right. I keep getting mixed up. So that's bad. Going left is bad. Okay, and Ppotdot fighting the holographic Mega Man. And he actually did this trick that I wanted to talk about earlier, but it's just hard to commentate both of these runs at the same time. So, you might have heard me say earlier that you cannot menu to despawn a weapon, but that is not true for Rush Coil and Rush Jet. So, what Ppotdot did in that fight is shoot a Rush Coil shot, and then switch to top spin, and that shot that you did earlier with Rush Coil equipped then becomes a top spin bullet. So it inherits all of the properties from top spin, and it's able to destroy that boss with one hit. It's crazy. Look it up. It's such a cool exploit for the run. Ppotdot now in refights, so that was a good fight with Snake. He did the best that he could with that pattern. Shadow Man here, the main thing with Shadow is you don't want to run out of your top spin ammo. It's very easy for it to get drained when you hold B and try to spin inside their hitbox, because it just gets consumed and they'll be an iframe, so they won't actually be taking any damage. SpeedE also getting the easy devil fight, just 2 full jumps shooting upwards right under the eyeball, and that's a quick kill, easy kill for SpeedE as well. Very good. Ppotdot now in the hardman fight. There's a few different ways to do that fight, but if you want to avoid getting frozen, you do have to take some sort of deboost, which is what Ppotdot did. SpeedE in the KLM room looks like he chooses to just reset the room entirely than having to deal with, oh gosh. Oh, okay, good. Oh no, but see, that's the lag. That's the lag. He made it up there, and you know he tried to jump, like, but the jump didn't work, and that's the lag. It's the lag. I'm telling you, it ruins everything. But it's also a fun part of the run because mitigating lag is so important. Ppotdot taking more damage than he would like from Magnet, but it's fine. He has enough to deal with his final refight robot here, Spark. Or oh my god! Okay, that was actually pretty scary. That was actually pretty scary. You shouldn't see Spark have enough time to get to that next pattern there where he started jumping. He should have been dead before that. Okay, so SpeedE shooting a rush coil, switches to top spin. That rush coil shot then inherits the top spin properties, so it can now pierce, and it does damage on every frame. So that's exactly what it did to the holographic Mega Man. It pierced him, it kept going through him, and it did damage on every frame, so it died from one shot. Ppotdot going to do the quick kill here on the Wily machine. He shot one search snake towards the left. We call it a lag snake because we're purposely causing lag by shooting it there, just so that when the Wily machine drops down to try to crush you, you actually have more time in real life to do your jump mash. So those lag snakes can be very clutch, or crutch. It's crutch for me. I can't do that. I can't do the quick kill without some lag snakes. Can't jump mash fast enough. So Ppotdot now in the Gamma fight. This is the last fight, so time will be on at the end of the second phase here. And he's gonna switch the coil to get right up there, and oh, that was switches to Search Snake and just mashes it right into Gamma's. So GG to Ppotdot. Very quickly, let me just switch audio to SpeedE. Okay, I switched the audio, but I don't hear anything. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the audio. I guess it's not being captured from SpeedE stream, so I'm gonna switch back to Ppotdot just so it's not me just me talking. Oh, noodle laser on speed. Don't take. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So SpeedE unfortunately getting off rhythm, missing a shot on Gemini, and like I said before, you cannot you cannot use the menu to despawn your weapon unless it's Rush Jet or Rush Coil. So he had to just watch his Gemini laser bounce around the room, hoping it would hit Gemini Man eventually. And it causes a ton of lag bouncing around because it's actually made up of 3 sprites. And oh, you could actually shoot a Gemini laser at those needles coming down a Needleman stage and watch it get deflected, and you could see the 3 different sprites bounce off. It's kind of funny. Anyways, SpeedE now taking out Needle with Needle because he was out of Gemini laser. Every boss is weak to their own weapon. I think that's pretty cool. So we use a lot of soft weaknesses in routing the refights here, so we don't have to menu too often. That's why you see here we're going to use Shadow Blade on Magna Man as well as Spark Man here. And I really love how the refights are routed with the menus. Not only does it dictate, of course, which teleporter we go in, so we see the boss that we want to fight, but you know it's also dictating our menus when we're going to menu, how far the next weapon is from our current selection. All of that is taken into consideration. So SpeedE now coming into his Wily Machine fight. I want to check again if SpeedE's audio is there, but I doubt it fixed itself. So he positions himself so that as soon as Wily's hitbox is available down there, he can mash some snakes into it. And he actually did a lagless snake kill. He didn't use any lag snakes. He just straight up jumped and killed a Wily Machine without any lag snakes. Okay, now we have no music. Hold on a second. I feel like someone's working on it, so bear with us. SpeedE now taking out Gamma, so it's 2 phases, pretty simple phases. Uh, okay, so we're back up with Hot's music, I guess. GG's to SpeedE, sorry about that. You finished that with a 3850. GG's to both of our runners. Ppotdot, very strong time with a 35:22. I don't know how accurate that is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that was deathless from Ppotdot. I think SpeedE had 2 deaths. So both of these runners, you know, this isn't their main game. They had runs previously, but they never like really grinded this game. That's why, you know, they joined the tournament. Both of them PB'd in the midst of their you know, prepping for their matches and stuff. So they're both making great progress. Ppotdot now with the 35 flat, so like right on the cusp of 34. And SpeedE with a really low 3609. So very good runners. This is a very good matchup, a hot matchup. We are going to be getting ready for round 2. This is a best 2 of 3, so just hold on while we get that situated, and I'll be right back. Really good credit music too. Credits music. This whole soundtrack. Okay, so we have our second race room up. Both of our runners has joined. We're just gonna give them a few minutes to ready up. Maybe they have to use the bathroom or get a drink or something. Alright, the countdown has begun, and SpeedE actually has the integration on with the race time. So we're gonna see the countdown on his side, so we'll know exactly when the race is beginning. Good luck to both of our runners here on race 2. Honestly, I'm hoping to see a race 3. I know SpeedE isn't entirely happy with that last race, so if he could, you know, just do what he normally does. Ppotdot, if he goes for everything and gets everything, he might PB. Yeah, he goes for everything. But he's just one of those runners. Honestly, I feel like both of these could be top runners in any game that they choose. They just pick a game, and if they want to, they could grind it out and be among the best. Okay, so here we go. Just like in race 1, Ppotdot going to Magnet Man first, while SpeedE going to Top Man first. I should mention that Top Man is technically the faster route. The world record is top first. But that does not mean that Magnet Man is slow. You can still get a top 5 time, I think could be possible. Maybe even more than that with Magnet Man. I think the difference is what, like optimally, it's a difference of like 5 to 10 seconds. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking. I don't know what I'm talking about. But Top Man first is the world record route. It's technically the fastest route. So that's all you need to know. It's really about your preference, because it doesn't make that much of a difference. Do you like dealing with Yoku blocks here that Ppotdot is doing? Or would you rather do some jump mashing and kill these gigantic cats like SpeedE? Personally, I do top first, because I hate Yoku blocks, and just standing around just feels wrong to me in a speedrun. So, and honestly, doing top Top First has helped my jump mash tremendously. If you want to pick up this game and you don't think you're a strong masher, you will be a much better masher after learning this run. So both of them coming into their boss fights at roughly around the same exact time. Ppotdot, you want... Well, he doesn't have much health, so can't really... I think he could afford one more body contact. Magna Man is going to the top there, which of course is too high to hit, so that's a pattern we do not want to see. SpeedE doing the standard fight on top, being able to kill him in 3 cycles, so a really close first stage. In race 1, SpeedE took that very unfortunate death in Top Man right at the end of the stage, so he had to go to the mid checkpoint, which was a very costly death. Okay, and both of them going to their second robot. Mega Man 3 has really good stage select. Like, as soon as you have control on the stage select, you can do a diagonal input, and it always works. In some of the other Mega Man games, I think Mega Man 4, Mega Man 4 you have to press the directions one after the other. You can't do a diagonal at the same time. You know, you kind of wish there was consistency across these games, but there's so many inconsistencies, like the sliding mechanics and the physics and such, and menus. But that makes the runs so unique, even within the same franchise. Ppotdot doing very well with these monkeys, also going for that very quick jump. Okay, I spoke too soon. He accidentally called Coil to the right, so he wasn't able to jump on him and cut out some of that ladder climbing. He switches back to regular Buster to get rid of these Met Dozers. Those Met Dozers have a really weird hitbox. SpeedE doing some of those dangerous jumps with top spin. Manages to stay alive. That's, as long as we get through that part, like, that's all that matters. It's so easy to die there. So SpeedE taking down Shadow while Ppot mashes Proto. Decent fight by SpeedE. He finished in the center of the stage, didn't run out of ammo, so that's all you can really hope to ask for in a Shadow Man fight in a race. And Ppotdot now has Magnet equipped again. So he's... Ooh. See, Ppot always has some intricate fights. Like, he always comes up with some weird dance with these Robot Masters. So that Hardman fight, I don't know why, but, like, he does all these slides and gets to the right. But he didn't actually position himself where he wanted to, so he had to go a little back to the left, out of the center, in order to stay alive and not take more damage from Hardman. But he did get out of there without dying, so it's okay. SpeedE now in Gemini Man stage. This is a very long first room where we deal with these penguins that have way too much HP, and if they shoot an egg, you gotta get rid of that egg, because it's causing lag and it's coming right at you. SpeedE now sliding into this cutscene, and before Mega Man slide ends and you're standing still, you jump out of it right into that hole there, because the hole is there before Proto Man destroys that floor, and the cutscene never gets a chance to play. And now SpeedE has no music in his stage, so he's enjoying some less lag in Gemini Man stage. Ppotdot now in Top Man. So unlike SpeedE, who went to Top Man first, he has a magnet missile, a very good weapon. As you can see, it homes in on enemies, and it does 2 damage, I think, on the cats, maybe more. But it's much more friendly now that you have magnet missile. SpeedE taking the Rush Marine route, the bottom route here at the end of Gemini Man stage, and it's a strat that, you know, people like to make jokes about Rush Marine, but it's a very viable strat, and you know what? I do it, and I'm proud. Rush Marine for life. I know the number by heart. But Ppotdot now taking out Top Man. He has hard knuckles, so he's able to kill Top Man in one went quicker cycle than SpeedE was able to do with the Buster only fight. Yeah, looks like SpeedE goes for a damageless fight here with Gemini. And just like last race, I missed the start of it, so I didn't really. I can't be too sure, but it looks like he didn't take any damage in that fight. So the safe fight, as long as you don't you know, let it get out of hand, I think it's perfectly fine to do damage to do that version of the fight. Ppotdot now in Shadow Man, so he has to fight Proto over here. SpeedE going to Needleman stage. So I love how the routes barely matter in Mega Man 3. Like, very competitive times, whichever route you want to take. It's just because the more routes means there's more strats. There's different ways to use weapons. There's different ways to optimize your menus. It's just such an interesting run. So he has Ppotdot has Magna Missile on this last room. So unlike SpeedE, he doesn't have to do that very risky strat using top spin over these pits. He could shoot Magna Missile ahead of time, and they'll home in on the enemy as they spawn. Oh my gosh! So the last jump, Ppotdot, I don't know. He just tried to extend his slide too. Oh wait, was it a drop? Did he get a drop? Might have been. He might have gotten like a small health refill or a small ammo refill, and you can't put an input during the refill animation. So it's very easy to just mistime your input. You don't want to see drops in Mega Man games because they just stop you in place. And we've already routed. Oh, look, SpeedE's audio's on. Okay. So Ppotdot sliding off the pit. Someone behind the scenes changed the audio for me to SpeedE. Thank you very much. So he had a good Needleman fight. Didn't get a new to a laser, didn't miss with the laser. Oh, Ppotdot now forced to do the top strats since he's out of Magna Missile. Obviously he hasn't, this isn't practice, or maybe it is, because it's Ppotdot, he practices stuff. But yeah, he did it safe with top spin. Those were very unfortunate deaths there, but very common deaths. Normally, you know, at least with his route, you have Magna Missile, so you see less of it. But it still happens. It still happens. He does indeed practice. I think most of his streams are. I'm just kidding. I love practice streams though. They're so cozy, and I think I'm gonna do more of them because that's the only way I'm gonna practice. SpeedE in Snake Man. Oh yeah, so we switched audio just in time for this banger. The Rush Jet, we're going to see Rush Jet for the majority of this stage, all the way up until the boss gate. Ppotdot now in the long first room of Gemini Man stage. Nice slide over that flame stick thingy. Oh yeah, so while we kill things to reduce lag and get them out of our way, we also want to shoot our lemons in a very particular way so that they don't cause lag by being on screen. So, you know, we try to kill things as soon as they spawn, which might require us to shoot lemons early, or we'll shoot things right up in their face so they don't have to travel far. Ppotdot getting the Gemini skip there, so he has no music in Gemini Man stage, and he skips the Proto Man cutscene. So he's going to have less lag to deal with. SpeedE now at the end of Snake Man stage, so we're going to use Rush Jet all the way to the end, and we're going to keep jumping off so that we consume less ammo, and also reduce lag by having Mega Man off of the screen. Okay, let's see how SpeedE handles the Snake Man fight. Looks like, oh, best pattern. So Snake Man only walked, he didn't stop and shoot his laggy snakes, so there's less lag, or there's no lag in that fight. The only lag is there from the ones you cause with your needles flying across the room. So yeah, he handled that pretty well. Ppotdot also doing the very dangerous platforming in that water section of Gemini Man stage again. Just like the first race, had a little bit of mishap with the dragonflies, but he did not fall. His health is a bit low here, so you might want to not take... Okay, he still takes damage from the bullet, which is much less than he would from body contact. Oh my gosh, okay, that was pretty close. They played a little game of chicken at the end there. Ppotdot wanted to get in the middle of the room, but Gemini Man was coming still in iframes, so ooh. Wow, very, very fast proto fight from SpeedE. That mash is insane. So, unlike Ppotdot, who came to Magnet Man first and had to deal with timing these Yoku blocks, SpeedE has Rush Jet at this point in his route, so he's going to be flying over these. Ppotdot going to be doing some cool strats with Gemini and Magnet here in Needleman stage. Oh yeah, and you can actually despawn Rush Jet or Rush Coil without calling the menu by pressing pause during a slide. Because you can't pull up the menu during a slide, but if you try to, you can despawn things like Rush Jet or Rush Coil. It's amazing. Okay, so SpeedE in the Magnet Man fight, he has Shadow Blade. It's a very fast kill. Oh, he gets the preferred pattern, but unfortunately he missed the direction on one of his Shadow Blades, and you can only have one out at a time, so you have to wait until that missed Shadow Blade returns to you before you can fire again. So Magnet Man was able to get over to the right side before he was hit again. Normally when you get that pattern, Magnet Man gets blown up right in the center of the room, and you are in the center of the room also, so it's a very quick kill. Ppotdot getting 2 laggy jumps from Needle. Luckily he bounces Gemini laser off the wall exactly where it needs to go, and we didn't get a Noodle laser, so good fight. SpeedE now in Hardman stage. He's going to be using the Shadow Blades to take out those bees before they drop the little bees, which causes a ton of lag, so very good bees. Okay, so a lot of Rush Coil usage here at the start of Hardman stage, and you can only shoot 2 lemons when you have Coil or Rush Jet equipped, so it's a little harder to mash down things. But if you're really close to something, then it obviously doesn't matter because it get despawned and you could fire again. But yeah, good monkey section from SpeedE. Gonna switch back to Buster so you could fire all 3 shots to have an easier time with these Met Dozers. Some runners do keep Rush Coil equipped and deal with only the 2 lemons to take down those Dozers, and then they get to skip some of that ladder there with the Rush Coil jump. So SpeedE now in the proto fight of Hardman stage. It's one of the more difficult ones because you have this unleveled room here, the unleveled terrain. So it can be kind of hard to dodge Proto Man while also jump with him from behind. So it was a better fight than last race. And he has the health necessary for the Hardman quick kill. He's going to take this... Oh, okay, he took the first hit, but he didn't remain in the hitbox to get the second hit, to actually get unfrozen. Ppotdot now he's almost done with Spark. There's this junk block section here. I don't really understand this room, but hey, junk is being compressed and falling from the ceiling. And they cause lag too. Everything causes lag. Okay, so both of them actually in Spark for a little bit. This is SpeedE's final robot. Ppotdot goes to Snake after this. Ppotdot getting this same pattern as last race, where Sparkman just jumps once. My favorite pattern. Stay away from me. So SpeedE at the start of Spark. We're gonna do a strat here on these elevators where we slide right onto that first one. Pretty risky. Slide off of the second one, all you need to know is that's the strat. What you just saw is the strat. SpeedE did it. Go for that. Okay, a little bit of trouble with those walking eyeballs. I don't know the name of them, but they are indeed walking eyeballs. With some magnet missiles left over to destroy this block entirely, switch to Shadow Blade, and we don't destroy the third one for whatever reason. The third one always gets a pass. I don't really understand why, but maybe I guess it doesn't reduce lag to kill it, or it reduces your ammo so much where it's too much to think about for little old me. I just copy everybody else. We leave that third junk block alone. If you want to be heartless and destroy it, fine. Okay, SpeedE getting the worst pattern from Spark, where he jumps all the way to the left. And I mentioned this in Race 1, but those explosion particles from the boss need to get off screen before this fanfare can begin and you can actually start leaving the stage. So that's why we want to destroy bosses in the center of the room, so their bubbles can despawn in the fastest way, and the fanfare will then begin. So SpeedE, out of 8 robos, I didn't see the exact time of his teleport, but if I had to guess, it was like a low, it was like a 1730, maybe? I don't know. So now he's going to be going into Doc Gemini, a very dangerous stage, very long first room, just like at the beginning of the regular Gemini stage. We want to kill everything in our path while avoiding those oh. It always freaks me out when people do the one tile slides here in Doc Gemini. But SpeedE going for a few of them and handling them just well enough to save time and, you know, not die, of course. Ppotdot, that looked like the worst pattern from Snake, I think. I think Snake went to the left for him, so also the it's laggy, and the fanfare gets delayed from those particles, not leaving the screen as fast as possible. Oh, SpeedE dedicated to that top route there. Like those eggs didn't get destroyed the way he wanted to, because he got rid of the eggs that he wanted to use as platforms, so he wasn't able to do that top route as optimally as it's intended, but you know, still made it out just fine. As long as there's three tadpoles on screen, you could destroy any more number of eggs, and no more tadpoles will get spawned. Okay, so he's going to be doing this strat here where he despawns with Shadow Blade equipped. He's going to destroy as many things as he can to reduce lag, as well as take a reverse deboost to slide across the spikes. It's much faster than flying Rush Jet or Rush Marine. Okay, I don't know what happened there. It looked like he grabbed the ladder by mistake. I think it just threw his movement off, so he then just slid off. Mega Man 3 is one of those games where you're gonna see people sliding off to their death, because, like I said before, in Mega Man 3 you cannot jump out of your slide. Oh, that was the health drop. The health drop ate his jump input, so that's just a bad drop there. Not too far from this checkpoint, so it's not that costly. But yeah, this is a very dangerous room, especially you know, how we want to slide across the spikes that kill you. Oh, please jump. Okay. See, look at all these drops. They're right at the edges, right when he wants to jump, so it's throwing off his timing. So that's just something that you have to be prepared to deal with when you do that strat. Okay, again, he accidentally caught that ladder by pressing down, so he had to just, you know, refrain from sliding off. Okay, so he is now in the Doc Bubble fight. Ppotdot in his first Doc stage, which is Doc Needle, in the route that he likes to take. So SpeedE, you know, still ahead even after those 2 deaths, since he's at the end here. Doc Needle is a very long stage, so Ppotdot, of course, did catch up quite a bit from the deaths. but it's still hard to say. I mean, we could just go by this. SpeedE's in his second dock stage. Ppotdot is still ending his first. But yeah, no way of knowing exactly who's in the lead. Both of these runners had a few deaths on both sides. Oh, SpeedE actually missing the music despawn. He did not make contact with the spikes on the screen transition, so the death sound didn't play. The music didn't get cut off. So he's gonna have to deal with more lag than he would like, especially here on this long screen. Look how slow that lag is making the game. Yikes. It's so easy to die when the lag is going strong like that, and it's something you're not used to, because we always despawn the music. That's what we do. So when you have the music, it's very hard to mess up your movement. Okay, there we go. So made contact with the spikes on the same frame that the screen is transitioned, and now we have no music and less lag. Okay, so you can actually see the difference. Like, look at, there's such it's such less lag now. Yeah, I actually like Shadowman's music. Well, I guess we could switch to Ppotdot. Okay, yeah, so Ppotdot and Spark, it's another banger. I love Spark's music. He's standing in place for 2 of these Tesla coil things to get despawned. The rest of them, we just deboost through. SpeedE fighting Woodman. He had a bit of a trouble in the first race. Hopefully he gets rid of Woodman before he... Okay, we're good. So, SpeedE now in a pretty dangerous part of Doc Shadow. Ppotdot now in a very dangerous fight with Doc Quick. Doc Quick, of course, he's very fast. He loves to jump around. And he does 8, I think, contact damage. So if you have to take damage, you want to do it from the boomerangs. Oh. Okay, that was fine. That was fine. Wait, what happened with SpeedE? Okay, he must have died because he normally doesn't use Gemini on that first screen there. Yeah, I think so. So SpeedE coming into the Doc Heat fight, just like game 1, his health is kind of low. Hopefully he can get some double hits on one of these cycles from Heatman. Oh, almost. Oh my gosh, he can't... Oh gosh, why does he do this? That was so close. Okay, he's fine. Okay, Ppotdot, you're gonna see him destroy 3 of these eggs to get 3 tadpoles out, which then allows him to make a route through any of the remaining eggs. We do the top route because it's slightly less lag when you could destroy those enemies on your way back down. So that was a pretty good run from Ppotdot, except for the beginning part. But I think it was still fine. So he's taking down Flash. That was just so quick I can hardly talk about it. But in Rockman 3, the Japanese version, Flashman freezes you for a much shorter time. One of the reasons why we prefer Rockman. Both of them actually do the same strat with the Shadow Blade. Most people, or at least that I've seen, they use Rush Coil to kill some of those enemies, but they do an early switch to Shadow Blade and use Shadow Blade and take the deboost like that. Okay, it's interesting. SpeedE just took out Airman, who was weak to Spark. He took much more damage than I think he would like. He's going to have to be pretty careful because it's very easy to take damage in this room if you're not paying attention. Since your hitbox wraps around to the bottom of the screen every time you jump up, you can not only pick up those refills down there, which will slow you down, you could actually make contact with those enemies down there. And oh, okay. And he's going to be coming up to these big Mets, which do a ton of damage. I think one of them touching him would kill him at this point with that health. Okay, Ppotdot getting the music despawn here in Doc's shadow, so he's going to have less lag. Good for him. SpeedE, hopefully he can avoid making contact with this next big Met. Yep, you have to get really close using the snake weapon. So, oh my gosh, what is this? Oh, okay, wow, his health is really low, but there's a big health here. Luckily, he took a hit from the small Met instead of the big one, so he had enough health to tank that. Ppotdot getting through that laggy room with the red platforms. SpeedE taking down Clash. Every time you press B, Clash jumps. So you could kind of manipulate him to jump and meet you in the air and shoot. Like you jump, then you shoot, and he'll jump into the bullet, jump into the hard knuckle. Ppotdot taking down Woodman, no problem, with the back against the door, so he's immediately pushed out as soon as he regains control. Getting a ton of drops here. Drops in this room, you want one small drop of ammo. He got a big one, so he has more than enough to finish this room out. But doing the strat that he does, you do require one small drop, or else you're going to have to deboost at the end. But yeah, he got a big drop early on, so he had enough magnet missile. Why did SpeedE fire there? Causing lag for fun? Okay. Ppotdot getting a double hit on Heatman's second cycle, so he managed to kill him in 3 cycles. SpeedE now gonna fight Metal Man. Oh, Ppotdot getting the frame perfect jump before the Breakman fight. Okay, a very good fight again from Ppotdot with the Breakman kill. SpeedE falling through Doc's Spark, not going for the music despawn. He's going to be despawning those Tesla coil things. Okay, doing all the necessary deboosts so you can get through that room, but still have enough health to fight Quickman here at the end. Ppotdot now in Wily 1. Because it's Wily. Yes, Wily is behind all of this. SpeedE actually not too far behind, so we're actually seeing the conversion of the routes now, because once you're in the Wily stages, you have no choice. It's Wily 1 and Wily 2 and blah blah blah. So SpeedE finishing his last Doc robot. He's going to be joining Ppotdot in Wily 1. This is actually still a close race. Both of these... Oh, wait, yeah. Breakman. Of course, Breakman. Hurry up and take him down with your fast mash. Oh my gosh, that's so fast. Okay, now SpeedE's going to be going to Wily 1. Ppotdot. Actually, the RNG that they're going to deal with in this boss fight could actually make a huge difference in this race. In allowing SpeedE to make up some time. So, Kamegoro Maker can choose to either go left or right. Left is the slow pattern, so he's going to hold on to that turtle a little longer than Ppotdot would like. Okay, he's getting some right directions now. So these are all fast. Wow, this is actually really good. Plenty of rights. So yeah, that was pretty good RNG. No help to SpeedE, unfortunately. He's coming into his Wily 1. Oh no! Just slid off into the spikes in the water room. Ppotdot now in Wily 2. If we need to menu while we're climbing up a ladder, you're gonna see runners opt to do it right at the top of the ladder, because the top of the ladders in Mega Man 3 is weird. Like, you could jump out of them kind of early. Even if you want to climb down, you know how, like, you'll climb down a ladder, then press A to let go and just fall down faster, because it's faster than climbing. But you might actually get pushed back to the top of the ladder if you press it a little too high on the ladder. Anyways, ladders. Ppotdot coming into the easy devil fight, or I should just call it the yellow devil, until he does the easy devil fight, which is the quick kill. SpeedE back in the water room again. He did the fast strat there this time, so he was able to take a D-boost and slide completely across those spikes there. Ppot going to position himself in a way where he can take 2 D-boosts, and it'll place him right beneath the eyeball, so once it's formed, he could then jump straight up, mash straight up, and in 2 jumps, if your jump mash is good enough, you can kill him in 1 cycle. So that's the easy devil fight, very good. I think you need like at least 8 or 9 hertz of jump mash ability to do the easy devil fight. What is this? What is the hard knuckle doing here? Was Ppotdot like? I feel like he experimented and like he found out that hard knuckle was completely useless there, but it could still kill things. So like, hey, let me just show it off. I didn't see the RNG that SpeedE got with his turtles, but he is out of Wily Ones, so he's gonna fight the Yellow Devil now. Ppot coming into his fight with Rush Coil equipped. Not only does it allow us to get up to the real enemy quicker, but we can fire a lemon and then switch to top spin. And that lemon will then inherit the top spin properties, and it's able to kill the holographic Mega Man in 1 shot. So very good exploit of doing the switcheroo, the old switcheroo of the weapons while there's a shot on screen. Ppotdot now in the refight stage while SpeedE prepares to do his easy devil fight. Very good mash by Ppot, killing those junk enemies and also taking the reverse D-boost to get through it faster. So we're going to switch to needle weapon first so we could take down Snake here at the top right. Alright, I personally hate this pattern because it's hard to avoid the snakes and also hit Snake Man while he's jumping there. So we are going to be doing these refights in an order where we don't have to menu as far and we don't have to menu as often. So I know a lot of people wonder like why don't we just go like, you know, in clockwise or counterclockwise or something like that. Well, it's because all of this has been taken into consideration. The menus, menu time. We don't want to have to switch pages in the menu. We want all the weapons we need on 1 page. And we want to use some soft weaknesses if it actually helps the menu enough and the fight is still fast enough. So SpeedE now using coil to get through this room fast. He's going to keep coil equipped so you can do the lemon flavored, oh no, the top flavored lemon, I think some people is what they call it. Ppot now has Shadow Blade equipped, which is what we're going to use for Magnet Man here, as well as the final robot, Sparkman. SpeedE coming into the refight stage as well. That was a good fight. So that's the same exact pattern that Ppot got in Race 1, except for this time he handled it perfectly well. In Race 1, Ppot almost died to that Spark refight, and it was the same exact pattern. Okay, so he's going to be fighting the Wily Machine while SpeedE falls down into his teleporter room to kill these robots again. So Ppot going to get under there, so as soon as this hitbox is available, he can shoot those snakes. 2 lag snakes to the left, okay. 2 lag snakes to the left, so causing just enough lag to allow Ppotdot to jump mash and destroy the Wily machine. Okay, SpeedE now in the top man refight. He did top first, so he didn't have hard knuckle the first time he saw top man. But now he does, so take that, top man. Unfortunately, he didn't get the faster fight with killing him on the second cycle, but it's okay. Ppotdot now in the gamma fight. One of the easiest last fights. Oh my gosh. Oh, SpeedE, that was scary. So Ppotdot, he's actually doing a different fight this time. So last time he used Snake on the second phase, but this time he's going to use the Rush Coil, the top flavored lemon trick. Okay, so GG to Ppotdot. He's gonna take race 2. We'll switch over to SpeedE's audio. Okay, so yeah, GG's to Ppotdot. He's gonna take this match over SpeedE and move on. But let's let SpeedE finish up. This is still a decent run, despite the deaths that both of these runners made. You know, we saw some good backups, and it was still a very competitive race. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I wasn't worried. I was like, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill Sparkman, but then he wasn't. And then he was actually almost dead. But it's fine. Alright, so I want to see if SpeedE does the lagless fight again on the second phase here of a Wily machine. So just like everybody, you want to slide and get under here so you can mash the snakes into this first phase part, this turret here. And oh, okay, yeah. So one lag snake. Oh, to the right. He actually didn't get enough mashing in during that jump, so there wasn't enough. He didn't have enough time to mash. That's why a lot of people shoot the snakes to the left, because it causes more lag. So in real life, you can actually jump and mash, and it's far easier. But a SpeedE has a very good mash, so normally he does that fight. But yeah, he missed a few shots, so he switched to Shadow, and he was able to finish him off without even E-tanking. Most of the times when you mess up the quick kill, you need an E-tank. But he was able to do the backup just fine. So he's about to finish up with his run here on Gamma. First phase with that Shadow Blade, and now switching to Coil, getting a D-boost, taking a D-boost, and switching to top and just finishing him off with top. You keep your iframes even when you menu. So his iframes were still active when he had top spin, and he was able to use top spin within the hitbox of Gamma. In Mega Man 3 in the US version, you can't actually do that. Your iframes run out while you menu. They aren't saved for you when you come out of the menu. So that's another reason why we play on the Japanese version, Rockman 3. So yes, GG's to both of our runners. GG SpeedE. Yes, drop a GG for both of our runners. They did very well. A lot of people struggle to get sub 40, and a lot of Mega Mans, especially Mega Man 3. Okay, looks like we are being joined by Ppotdot. Yo, Ppotdot.
Hello. Hi. I'm doing all right. Shadow kind of hurt me a bit in the second race, but
yeah, that was very interesting to see. I mean, you couldn't help yourself. You have to slide. I know what it's like.
Yep.
Sliding everywhere. Always be sliding. I think that's the motto.
Yep. The last, like, I got a small drop from the second to last parachute, And so I did a big jump to like make sure that I jumped all the way through it and didn't get owned. Landed a little bit further right than I'm used to, and slid slightly late and just didn't jump in time. And then had to figure out what I was doing afterwards. As when I died with the Buster, I'm like, what am I doing? I have topspin. I can do this at least semi-safely with topspin.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious that you didn't like practice the topspin strat, and I was trying to tell everyone how it's so much safer how you were doing it with Magnet Missile, and then you go off and do that, and then I had to like try to correct myself, and then yeah, the Buster moment, and then the topspin. It was pretty funny to see. But I mean, SpeedE had some mishaps later on, and yeah, it was a very close race. This race too, it was a really good one. I hope you watch it back.
Yeah, should be a fun watch back. I was extremely nervous for race 1. Like for whatever reason, like I couldn't like settle myself for like 7 stages in. Somehow miraculously didn't die through top or Gemini on that first run. Like,
yeah,
I could feel my heart pounding the whole time. I'm like, just keep going. Don't die, please.
I mean, you had a recent PB, and as far as I know,
yeah.
well, you do a few things safer in races, but yeah, you do go for most of the same strats. And SpeedE is a strong runner, so I can understand being nervous facing off against him.
Yeah, I was definitely like, as I was going into the first race, I was feeling like I needed a deathless run to be close, or at least that's like what I was thinking was like I need to play deathless to like to have a good chance of getting on. And I think if SpeedE would have been completely on top of his game, I know like there was a couple unfortunate things in Doc Shadow. It sounded like in the second run.
Yeah, he didn't get the music despawn, and I knew it was the lag that killed him. I don't even have to ask him. It was the lag.
Yeah, doing that with the music on, it's so much harder. It's ridiculous. I might be tempted even just to swap to Rush Jet over that section just to make sure that I get through, because it's insane how much harder it is to actually get through that with the lag.
Yeah, you just can't jump sometimes. Alright, so you are going to be moving on to face Prizzy. Yeah.
What a gift to be given for for the winning this race. No, it's gonna be fun. I'm just gonna get completely owned.
Yeah, I mean, Prizzy, he gets consistent low 34s, high 33s on like every run. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, you could still. I think you still have him a little bit shook because he knows you're a consistent runner, and I mean, of course, you two are familiar with each other, being two of the strongest Mega Man runners in the game. So of course, both of you guys are aware of each other's strengths. So he's not gonna take it lightly on you.
Yeah, we've definitely had some close races in Mega Man 5 before. We're probably a little bit more even in that game than we are in this one, but should still be a good time, regardless.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that one. Maybe I might commentate. I don't know. We'll see if other people sign up, but I will be watching. But good luck to you. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but I mean, you said you're gonna get owned, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't go that far. You know, you never know.
Yeah. There's a chance. There's a very slim chance, but yeah, I'm looking at it from a slightly realistic standpoint. But I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna try my hardest regardless. But if I don't make it, I don't make it. That's how it is.
I mean, as a commentator, like I have to say, you never know, people. You never know what might happen. Doesn't matter like what the seed difference is or PB difference. But yeah, no, it's really true with Mega Man 3 because it's such an unforgiving game. So GG's to both of you again. Good luck to your next match.
Thanks.
Best of luck to SpeedE on whatever speed plans he has next. Unfortunately, he won't be joining us on the interview, but he's a very strong runner, and you know well, I don't even know all of the Mega Man games he runs, but I know he's a really strong Mega Man 1 runner.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, let me drop the command in chat.
Yeah, if you're not following SpeedE, you should be. He's fun to watch. It's a good time. And make sure that you follow this guy on commentary too. Mel is pretty strong and has a fun stream. I know sometimes you stream as a dog, and that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can follow me if you want, but I'm whatever, honestly. But yeah, okay, so yeah, we're going to be moving forward in the bracket. This is an exciting time in the bracket, for real, because all of like the really good people. I don't know. I shouldn't be in the tournament still, but somehow I am because Green Mario unfortunately had to drop. But yeah, things are really starting to spice up. You guys are going to see a lot more good races coming up. Yeah, Cassio's gonna destroy me.
Hey, you never know. You might pull it through. Yeah, I believe in you.
Yeah, hopefully Cassio gets like a 39 and gives me a chance, but that's not likely. All right, so yeah, GG's to you, Ppotdot. Good luck again. I'll be tuning in for sure. Anything you wanna add before we sign out?
Just thanks to everyone here who is following along and watching all the races and giving all their support. It means a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you SpeedGaming for hosting this. Thank you Ppotdot and SpeedE for putting up such a good race. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Always be sliding.